Being a gardener or farmer in Minecraft is one of the most fun things to do. Create a farm and grow a diverse collection of different crops for an endless supply of food or breed animals. Farming has limitless potential in the game, but for those lovers of farmers and being farmers in Minecraft, there's mods out there that completely both overhaul or expand the farming system in the game to make it even better, and generally just improve the farming experience by adding new seeds and items that enhance it. Number 10. Harvest Festival. A mod inspired by the Harvest Moon farming game series, this mod adds a whole array of brand new crops and animals to the game that need to be monitored and looked after. It not only builds upon the crop systems, but it also adds new NPCs such as the builder and cooks to the villagers, and there's a new season system which affects the length of the days and what you can actually grow at any given time. There's 13 brand new crops that need watering to fully grow, cows, chickens, sheep and other animals that produce better items when you actually look after them, meaning that farming isn't just about waiting for things to grow but also monitoring your crops and livestock. Builders that create buildings to form a town are also added, and there's better NPC interaction to make the NPCs in these villages much less boring than they are in vanilla. There's shops to buy items and animals from, a selling system to sell your crop yields and any other valuables that you have, a cooking system and other features. This mod is very expansive and extensive and a really great addition to any farming mod pack or modded Minecraft experience. Gardening tools. The Gardening Tools mod is a simple mod that adds some basic new tools to the game that just aim to speed up the farming process. It adds 3 new main items to the game, which are the irrigation core that hydrates all blocks around it in a similar style to a water source, but it works on farmland both above and below, the cultivator which tills a whole row of farm blocks in one strike, and also the trowel planter which takes any seeds that are currently in your inventory, it doesn't really matter which type of seeds, it could be melon, pumpkin or wheat seeds, and it will sow them all in front of you in a row like the cultivator tool does. Basically, instead of individually placing seeds on multiple different blocks, this will automatically just place full rows of seeds and plant them for you. There isn't too much else to explain about this mod because it doesn't add too much, but the actual items it does add makes life a little bit easier when things are much quicker on your farm. Roost. This little mod is a mod that adds a few brand new features for chickens in the game to automate the drops and collection of them from chicken breeding. There's a brand new chicken catcher that picks up a chicken in a cat style box in your inventory so that you can move them around and transfer them to different locations. The Roost, that is a place for the chickens to stay in. The breeder, which will make 2 chickens create new chickens, and the Roost collector, which will take any items that are dropped inside the Roost blocks by the chickens that they're staying in and collect them for you. It's a nice little mod, and although it only adds a few new features to the game, it's worth trying out, and it really does make chickens less useless in Minecraft like they just seem to be in vanilla. Instead of just placing chickens around or spawning them with mob eggs, this actually gives chickens a purpose and allows you to actually produce eggs or new chickens from them. So it's a really worthwhile mod if you want to actually emulate the real farming experience in the game. Hatchery. Yet another chicken mod because standard Minecraft chickens are pretty boring and mundane, but the Hatchery mod aims to completely change that. Basically, it adds a whole new experience and feeling to the chicken farming system in Minecraft by making it more expansive and fun through new features. It's similar to the Roost mod, but it adds a few more features and it's just slightly a little bit different in terms of what it actually does to the game. It adds some new blocks and items to promote farming chickens in the game, but it also improves the AI behavior of the chicken mobs themselves. There are brand new nest blocks to hatch little chicks, nesting pens to house adult chickens to yield more eggs, a mating system to create brand new eggs, and different customization options to modify the hatching speeds and also the egg drop rates. No longer do you mindlessly just throw around chicken eggs to hatch new chickens or to troll other players. There's actually a realistic system in place which is much more rewarding, realistic, and just less of a meme. There's new roosters in the game, animal nets to catch escaped chickens, fertilized dirt and farmland for crops, chicken feeders for baby chicks, liquid fertilizer, and a lot of other awesome features that you should try out to actually improve your farm and base. AgriCraft. Inspired by the original Industrial Craft 2 crop system, the AgriCraft mod adds crop mutations to the game as well as brand new farming equipment along with it. The mod uses a breeding system that has mechanics that are very similar to how bees and the trees breeding system works in the forestry mod, which we'll also be covering on this video, and it's also very customizable and configurable. The purpose of breeding crops is to actually create stronger seeds, so you can crossbreed two different plant species in order to create one of the mutations I mentioned, which can create a third different species of plant as a result. Some of the tools also completely eliminate the purpose for actually using water source blocks, and this in turn increases crop growth through the new irrigation system which is part of this mod. Basically it just adds a slight few changes without completely changing the game, and it improves the diversity and collection of different seeds and plants that you can actually create and grow in the game. Thermal cultivation. A mod that adds more tools and features to improve farming. The thermal cultivation mod adds a whole bunch of new and useful content to the game. It adds new types of watering cans that accelerate the growth of plants in the game, and they hold more water. The higher the tier, the more water that they hold, and they perform slightly differently to the standard buckets in the game. The watering cans irrigate farmland, and basically this mod adds content that didn't quite make the cut into the thermal expansion mod, which is by the same creator, although it does still require that mod in order to work. It only adds watering cans right now, but there are plans to improve and update the mod with more features in the future versions. Farming for blockheads. I included this mod in one of my top 10 Minecraft mods for 1.15 lists, and for good reason. Basically this is a slightly newer Minecraft mod, but it's pretty useful and simple. The mod adds a brand new seed market feature to the game, which is inspired by the same feature that's added in Pam's Harvestcraft. The seed market has a search bar, a scrolling grid, and it's fully compatible with Pam's seeds and saplings, which is also another mod, and you can configure this mod to add other custom trades to it or items from other farming mods to sell in the stall. The market block is actually a stall style with a villager salesman behind it that sells seeds and saplings to the player for farming, and it's a really nice little feature, especially when you actually place it inside an NPC village. It really blends into the game nicely. Forestry. The forestry mod is a pretty diverse mod that adds brand new items, ores and machine blocks into the game. It actually also adds bees along with bee houses, apiaries and other blocks into the game in order to create different bee species and to breed them. This mod was actually the primary mod for adding bees to the game before they actually came into the Minecraft vanilla game in the Minecraft 1.15 Buzzy Bees update. So there's not really too much of a use for the bee system in forestry anymore, but it's still a really cool addition to the mod. As a whole, forestry is a very large mod for farming. It was originally coded and designed to be fully compatible for Industrial Craft 2 and Buildcraft 3, which are two of the most popular factory and technology mods in Minecraft. As well as bee breeding, there's also tree breeding and a lot of options for automatic farming within the game. Depending which biome or space that you build your farm in, this will actually determine how much water that your farm will use up, with desert biomes needing a lot more water than somewhere such as a forest or the jungle. Mystical agriculture. The mystical agriculture mod is a complete rewrite and successor to the older mod Magical Crops. This mod is one that lets you source more food from orchards by growing essence that is then actually turned into resources. You can get special seeds and plant strange and unique things. For an example, you can actually even create and spawn zombies from your garden by planting new mob seeds. It's a strange system, but that's why it takes a place on this list for being unique. There is a new resource called Inferium in the game that lets the player craft 5 different tiers of weaponry as well as tools and armor sets. But this isn't the only resource, as there's also another new ore which is called Prosperity Ore 2. There's new gems, mob drops, and it integrates very well into other popular mods such as Industrial Craft, Tinker's Construct and a whole other list of supported mods. It has a lot of supported mods that it works well and integrates with without any problems, so it should be a really nice addition if you're trying to make a mod pack, as it works alongside a lot of other mods without breaking the game. Pam's Harvestcraft. The Harvestcraft mod takes number 1 on this list because of it being the most expansive farming mod out there, but also because it's kind of a food mod too. It adds brand new foods, recipes, farming additions such as materials and crops, and brand new tools. There's over 60 new crops in Harvestcraft, 36 new fruits which are usually grown on trees, 1300 new items, all new cooking tools and items and blocks to process and make these crops into new foods as well. It basically changes how you farm and how you source the food that you eat and use in Minecraft. For an example, it changes the vanilla food restoration values in order to make you have to do a lot more to restore hunger than just eat meat or eat something like a carrot like you do in the vanilla experience. It's hard to show just how extensive that the Harvestcraft mod is in such a short video, but it's one of the best mods for players who love farming and who want to transform the food system to improve it.
FarmingUtils. For many new blocks for farming, this mod is a nice one to choose. In fact, these blocks called farmers are for completely automating the farming and harvesting system for easily acquiring crops, netherworts, melons and pumpkins, sugarcane and cacti. Each of these farmer blocks has their own containing inventory, which places its drops within it, and they can also be manually upgraded to be more efficient, to expand their radius, their redstone requirement, or how they drop blocks. Each farmer block works in a different way, and it requires a different setup to the way its farm is built. Or Tree Reborn. This fun little mod adds a few coloured sapling types which correspond to all of the ores in game, each that can be planted on top of the matching ore blocks, which lets them fully grow into mineral trees that can be smelted from their logs back into the minerals that they grow on. Each sapling is acquired by crafting a vanilla sapling with a matching ingot of the type that you wish, and ingots of that type also accelerate their growth cycle, just like bone meal does to crops. Realistic horse genetics. The idea of this mod is to add biologically accurate horse genetics to Minecraft, letting them be many different colours such as dun, bay, black, buckskin, chestnut, grey, palomino, roan, white, pinto and leopard spotted, just to name a few of them. You just breed the colour types that you like and you'll get a higher chance to get more of them or a lucky unexpected colour from the gene system. With this mod there's a real reason to breed horses as it will actually improve upon their speed, their health and their jump strength stats, although naturally spawning horses will usually be quite average in stats. Horses can also come in a range of different sizes, letting you breed miniature horses or any sizes in between. Harvest Scythes. You can harvest crops in a specific range by right-clicking with one of these scythes to both harvest and replant nearby crops using the tool when they are fully grown, and you can even right-click on both dirt and grass to till it into farmland. Some of these scythes harvest crops in a circular shape and others in a square shape, which is dependent on their tier of tool. They mostly use the same general recipe shape and they come in multiple types. There's also an enchantment that you can in place on any type of scythe to increase their crop harvesting range. The mod also in the later updates adds machetes which are used to break surrounding leaf blocks around the player, so these are super useful to use in jungles. Fruit trees. This mod introduces a series of fruit trees to the game, which are the orange, lemon, lime, mandarin, pomelo, citron, grapefruit, apple oak and cherry trees, as well as adding bee hybridization. Each of these different trees naturally spawn in the different biomes. This is dependent on their temperature and their location, and they can be gathered and replanted using their saplings. Terraqueous. If you want some fruit trees like the previous mod, but also some bushes, pergolas, flowers and flower pots, clouds and some new tools too, then try this one out. Trees naturally spawn in the world and they have the chance to bear a range of different fruit types, such as apples, peaches and pears, mangoes, oranges, lemons, cherries and plums, coconuts and bananas. Each of these trees also have their own wood type too, which can be made into different wooden objects. Many of these look amazing when crafted. There's also pergolas, which are formed from a roof, lattice fences and fence gates, and they work with a connected model system in a variety of colours. There's also 16 different coloured flowers to generate in the world, which can be put on display or just used for dyes. Clouds are block formations that spawn as structures in light, dense and storm cloud versions that generate up in the sky, and they can be used to make a sky house, or they can be walked on if you're carrying the feather talisman item. Bonsai Trees 3. Remember those small trees? This mod adds those. You now have small blocks that grow into miniature trees all within a singular block space. This mod makes for a really cool decorative piece. You craft a pot and place it in an area, and then you fill it with soil, which is usually dirt. Then you place a tree sapling and watch it fully grow. You can also harvest it just by using the axe button in the GUI. These bonsai pots are upgradable by adding tools like the axe to make it auto harvestable. The hopper also lets it harvest items from it, and dyes can change the pot's appearance.
Better agriculture. First up is the Better Agriculture mod that brings 40 brand new separate breeds of farm animals along with a bunch of interesting decor blocks, as well as some items too that will enhance and improve your farming experience when building the farm of your dreams. Each of these farm animal breeds are for the pre-existing vanilla animals, sheep, cows, and chickens and pigs, each having 10 or more separate breeds each. There are also 2 new NPC mobs that are the male and female farmhand, which will work on your farm. Some of the interesting new blocks help you build your own barns with new barn roof blocks and roof tiles to make roofs for your farmhouses and barns, and there's also new brick wall, thatched roof for classic older style farms and more. There's also vanity items like rubber welly boots, overalls, and a red shirt and straw hat to create the ultimate farmer outfit, enhanced farming. This mod is a recreation and continuation of the original 1.6.2 mod Better Farming and aims to introduce the same content along with more additions. This mod adds all new fruit trees to the world that can be placed upon dirt and grass, and each have 6 different growth stages, dropping their fruit over time when their growth cycle ends. These trees are naturally found in their fitting biomes and include apple, lemon and oranges, and are mostly found in the forest type biomes. The 2 new crops, mint and netherflower, are interesting too. Mint has 6 stages and is planted on farmland, yielding mint leaves, and the netherflower has 6 stages also, dropping blaze powder and only being able to grow up on soul sand. Similar to the Minecraft hoe, rakes can be used on grass, turning it to dirt and offering the chance of dropping vanilla and mod-based seeds to the player, offering a greater drop chance the better tier your tool is. The mod also brings some cool new food items like many different types of chocolate, chocolate candy, chocolate bar, mint chocolate bar, as well as drinkable chocolate, which include cold and hot chocolate, and then there's more drinks, mint tea, apple juice, lemonade and orange juice, along with the following fruits: lemons, oranges, golden lemons, and also golden oranges. If you create a scarecrow and place it around your base, you can use it to scare away animals in a 5-block radius around it. Giacomo's Experience Seedling. This mod is unique and basically adds a way of obtaining XP in the game by adding new seeds that let you grow a new experience plant. These seeds are pretty costly and require 8 gold ingots and a wheat seed to get just 1. To obtain this crop without damaging the plants in the process, you have to use shears just like how you would when shearing sheep. One interesting thing is that the villagers are hostile to your crops and will destroy them, so be careful. Harvesting these plants grant you experience orbs which you can use to level up. The XP orb drops are also random when shearing and can be from 3 to 19, and they're usually around 11 on average that get dropped. Although you can use bone meal to speed up the growth cycle, you have to be patient in the final maturing stage of the plant and let it finish growing by itself. Croparia V2. This mod brings a collection of brand new crops to cultivate, as well as some earth, water, fire and air based armor types along with them. This mod is really huge and would be difficult to feature fully in such a small window of time, but it basically adds 86 total crops to the game, as well as 45 compatibility crops and 25 new stems, which are the plants like pumpkin in vanilla, and not to mention 25 brand new items too. If you love growing plants and want strange and interesting new crops like ore style plants that let you grow ores such as lapis seeds, diamond and gold seeds, this mod is one to take for a spin. Magical crops. If mining is just not cutting it for you anymore and maybe you want an easier way to gather resources and relax, then Magical Crops offers a solution for such thoughts. This mod switches things up and changes the mechanic of gathering in the game. It will completely alter how you look at collecting resources. You can theoretically now grow the majority of vanilla items, like ores such as iron, lapis and also bones, and grow a lot of other mod items like copper, tin, lead and more. The core vanilla components that you can now grow with this mod are all of the standard ores in the game, wither skulls, all dyes, bone, string, leather, blaze rods, slime balls, obsidian, ender pearls, experience orbs, nether warts, brick and netherrack, quartz, dirt, cobble, sand, and even feathers. There's new foods that you can grow too, such as tomatoes, corn, strawberries and blueberries, blackberries and raspberries, grapes and chilies, as well as new potato types and carrot types. Farmer's Delight. This is a mod that touches on both farming and cooking in Minecraft by introducing some new tools and workstations that let you utilize many different crops to cook some fresh meals to eat. The whole point of this mod is to make use of mostly overlooked and unused items to make them more useful to the player. The mod makes it pretty simple for players to get stuck in, as it leads them across most of its progression stages through the use of a series of unique advancements that you can follow for guidance. There's a lot of content within this mod, like an awesome farmer's market that you can make to showcase your food items, a rustic kitchen setup made out of blocks like the cooking pot, stove, cutting board and pantry, or new farms that can be enhanced by growing new crops like cabbages, unique new tomatoes, onions and rice crops too. There's also new rope and terrain items that let you get around and move up and down caves and across the land in your world. Botany Pots. This is a lightweight little mod that adds a special block called the Botany Pot that lets you grow a range of different crops within it that you can use to harvest or just put on display for decoration. This mod is useful because any crops harvested in this pot will be replanted automatically as a seed to continue the cycle again. There's also a hopper upgrade that lets it harvest itself and then place its yield into a chest or an inventory type block nearby. The pots have 17 total different colours that they support, and they're really nice to just put around your house. Simple farming. This agriculture mod expands the farming system in Minecraft through the addition of all new fruit and veg and different food items. There are new crops, fruit trees and berry bushes, harvesting through right clicking, and new meals and snack options for hunger. This simple little mod has a few features, but it's a nice one to mess around with. For an example, you could make your own little grape vineyard, place a scarecrow on your farm for decoration, or even make your very own wine cellar. There are a lot of possibilities through this simple farming mod. Serene Seasons. Imagine if Minecraft had seasons. Well, this mod pretty much does that. It adds seasons to Minecraft, which impacts how blocks appear depending on what time of year it is in the game. For an example, the grass and the colour of foliage, like trees, will change throughout the course of the year. In the winter parts where the temperature is low enough, warmer biomes will now receive snow too. The season system also impacts how crops grow, and it will make certain crops flourish only at certain times of the year like they do naturally. There's also a change to the weather system, such as more frequent downpours of rain in spring or higher chances of storms in summertime. This mod is very well designed, and it's set up in such a way that it will work almost seamlessly with any custom bio mod that you have installed alongside it. Snad. This simple small mod makes one addition to the game, being the block called Snad, which acts as a counterpart to sand in the game. This is basically meant to be the opposite of sand, and it can increase sugarcane growth or the growth of any other plantable crop like cacti for an example. In order to make this block, you'll need to craft 2 sand together in your inventory or in a crafting table to make your very own Snad to grow your crops on. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you disagree with the top farming mods in this video and you think I missed your favourite farming mod, then definitely let me know what they are in the comments section so I can feature them next time or check the mods out. If you want to see more top 10 Minecraft style videos like this every single day and other videos like GTA 5 and more, subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you don't miss out on daily uploads. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.